Hi friends, it's April 23rd, 2024 at about 8:30 p.m. My brother Paul Cairns died at 10:15 a.m. this morning, and I just thought for some exercise I would walk over to the library and take his books back for one last time. So every 3 weeks since February of 2021, I've gone to this library, it's the Coquitlam Poirier branch of the library, and taken out books and movies for Paul and then returned them, even after his visits with me were, the L'Arche lawyer told me I'd never see him again. And she was pretty much right. That was on September 12th of 2022. I thought it would be bad luck not to keep on trying to get his books and movies. So I just kept on switching them out. And this time I'm going to return them for the last time. So this is the Coquitlam Library book bag that I bought for him. He loves books. And he loves movies. And I also have neighbors have given me tons of books for him. Okay, so where is my man? So these are really neat books that they are the lowest reading level possible they're basically for non-readers like Paul, but they're about, normal adult, mature themes. And I just keep on, there's not that many of them, so I just keep on taking them out. This one is Sending the Right Message, about a guy who's got a spot on his tie for a job interview. And this one is Tony's Deal, about a man who makes some kind of business deal. And they're shaking hands. And this one is The Big Question, about a girl that thinks her boyfriend's going to ask her to marry him, but then I think he asks her something else. Making Up Your Mind, How to Make Up Your Mind. I hope the writing is in backwards on these. I think with this video, for some reason, the writing comes out backwards. This one is Senior Center. And the movie is, I got Battlestar Galactica. And he had asked for Batman. The last time I spoke with him on the phone, I said, "What movie do you want?" And he said Batman, so I got him a Batman movie, The Batman. This one is Love of My Life, about a senior couple and their dog. I highly recommend that you borrow these books. Go to your local library, and if you have a disabled loved one, these are just great books. Thinking on Your Feet. Soup Kitchen. So I've read I think almost all of these books to Paul already. They don't have a huge selection, so I would just keep on checking out the same ones. Standing Up for Yourself. Paul, he's such a heroic guy. He did stand up for himself. He's my hero. And finally, Working as a Team. That's something he and I did very well. Thank you for all your well wishes. The one person that sort of stands out in my mind at this moment in time, and as I was walking over here, was there was an investigator with the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission for the RCMP who called me about 8 months ago or a year ago, after I had complained that the Burnaby RCMP, I met with a constable there, and she said she'd get a copy of the representation agreement that L'Arche used to lock Paul away. And a judge had ordered the public guardian and trustee to investigate it, and they worked out a separate deal um, with my sister's lawyer instead of investigating the agreement. And they allowed my sister to lock Paul away from me. Um, and I'm still waiting for a ruling from the Information and Privacy Commissioner of British Columbia on the email from my sister's lawyer to the public guardian trustee the day after our visits were terminated, setting out the deal between my sister, like how much she paid the public guardian and trustee, or what she did in order to be allowed to not be investigated for the uh, alleged fraudulent representation agreement. So there, anyways, so I had, when the public guardian trustee refused to investigate what I saw to be a fraud and a forgery, I went to the Burnaby RCMP on August 26th of 2022, and I met with this constable there, and I tried to I just explained what happened, and she said, "Oh, I'll subpoena the original of the document from L'Arche, and I'll interview the two witnesses of Paul's signature." And she wouldn't even let me show her on the document where the witnesses' addresses were or anything. She just she feigned interest, and what I believe actually happened is she went to L'Arche and she tipped them off that I'd complained, because L'Arche, within 5 days, L'Arche had terminated my visits with Paul. So this investigator, we'll call him Peter, at the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission for the RCMP, which is the regulatory oversight for RCMP in Canada. He actually called me. I was walking down the street in Vancouver, and I get a call from a block number, and it's this guy named Peter, not his real name. And he interviewed me for about 20 minutes as I was walking down the street. And it was the first time in this whole sordid experience when a government worker, an investigator, seemed genuinely interested and got what I was saying, got that this, the malevolence of this alleged fraudulent representation agreement that took Paul's rights all away, and the benefit there would be to L'Arche of, the $25,000 a month that they get from Community Living BC, from the British Columbia government and taxpayer. And he got the whole thing immediately. He acted like a TV detective, that like a Columbo or I don't know. He was so sharp and no BS, like just and so now what's happened is the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission has ordered the Burnaby RCMP to investigate their handling of the fraudulent representation agreement, the alleged fraudulent representation agreement that L'Arche used to basically torture my brother and I. It's the ultimate in elder abuse. And thanks to that one man, I've complained to every regulatory body, provincially, federally. I've gone to all the MLAs, MPs, and out of all of those people, maybe hundreds and hundreds of people who are paid to look out for the taxpayer, the BC taxpayer, this one guy in Ottawa, in a 10-minute phone call, got to the bottom of it and ordered the Burnaby RCMP to do their job. And so I was thinking about him today. I have this predilection to always look on the bright side of things. I've lost my dearest friend, my brother, who I cared for and protected his whole life. I've lost him today, most horrific, torturous, cruel, sadistic circumstances. And yet all I can think about is this guy sitting, Peter, at the Civilian Review and Complaints Commission for the RCMP, sitting somewhere in Ottawa, who actually did his job and tried to protect Paul and me. Thank you so much, Peter. You know who you are, and whatever happens, you're my hero, just as Paul is my hero. Good night, Paul. I miss you, dear.